Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, like I know we're in the middle of the holiday break, but I'm going to be that person and do this again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to South Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. My name is Caitlin. My pronouns are she and her. I am an average height, pink-haired, white-skinned woman, and it is my privilege to be your worship associate this morning. Whether you arrived early in anticipation or are catching your breath from a harried holiday season rush to get here, I invite you to take a breath and settle in. Settle into this moment where one calendar year is coming to a close and the new one is waiting in the wings. Here, we are a community of open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands. Here, we are welcome exactly as we are. And just to say it plainly, you are welcome here. If you are new here, we are so glad you have found us, and we look forward to getting to know you better. We also have some members who are here in spirit but not in body. They are our virtual community. If you would like to turn around to the camera and give a wave and say good morning. We're glad you folks have found us too. We have some announcements this morning. First Church is hosting their second meeting of Build Your Own Democracy on January 10th from 7 to 9. It's held at First Church. This is a workshop to share with other like-minded people to discuss paths forward in the new political year. And if you want more information on that, it's in our happenings email, which is our weekly newsletter that has everything in it. So if you want to know more about pretty much anything, make sure you're on that email list, and you can email our office to get put on that list. Also, you are invited to join us downstairs for hospitality after the service.
And good morning from me. I'm Cate MacGillivray. I will be your worship leader today. Reverend Laura is on a much-needed vacation with her family. We would like to begin with saying again hello to our virtual community, and then we will greet each other here in the sanctuary for a few minutes. So say hello one more time, and now you may get up and greet each other. To sing hymn number 523-25.
Hymn 325. Love makes a bridge from heart to heart and hand to hand. Love finds the way when lost of mind and freedom's land. Love makes the walls of language tender, glass and gate. Love gives the springs to set the bars of every age. Love lifts the hopes that force and fear have eaten down. Love breaks the chains and gives us strength to stand our ground. Love rings the bells that wanted birth and wedding day. Love guides the hands that promise more than words can say. Love makes a bridge that winds may shake yet not destroy. Love carries faith through life and death to endless joy.
Oops. Please remain standing. We will light our chalice, the symbol of our faith and the light of our commitments to love and justice. Receive these words of invocation. Let us light the chalice. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, for the light of truth, and for the energy of action. Please remain standing. Got that one right. We will light the menorah, as this is the 5th night of Hanukkah. The 5th candle tips towards the light as more are lit than are not. It ushers in the light over the darkness. And we have more information on that coming. And now you may be seated, and it is time for all ages with Caitlin.
I would like to invite the young and young at heart forward. I've got some cushions for you. Okay, I have a book that I'm not going to read. We're going to kind of look at it today. Let's see. We are in the middle of a whole bunch of holidays. We had Christmas, we're celebrating Hanukkah, we had the winter solstice, and there's something coming up in a few days. What is it, Spencer? New Year's. And for New Year's, some people have a tradition where they make a New Year's resolution. Have you heard of that? Yeah, maybe, sort of. Okay. It's okay that you haven't heard of it, because guess what? I don't like those very much. But I wanted to tell you about a different tradition, in case you're like me and New Year's resolutions are maybe not your thing. What's that?
A bird.
It is a bird. Do any of you like birds? Oh, good. This is going to go so much better since you like birds. So there's this fun tradition that I just learned about, where people who really like birds look for the first bird they see in the new year. And that bird is a sign or a symbol of what their year is going to be like. And so some people get really, really excited about this, and they'll try not to see like the birds they always see until they think they hear a cool one, and then they'll try and see that one and figure out what that means. And so I wanted to give you some ideas. This is one of my favorite birds. Does anybody know what that is? What is it?
It's a robin.
It is. It's a robin. And I don't see too many of them here, but I love them so much. And robins, if you see a robin as your very first bird in January, could mean that you're going to have a year of traveling and fun adventures. Would that be a good first bird? Yeah. Let's see. Got some other birds we might see here. Does anybody know what those birds are? What are these birds? Geese. They are their geese. And geese could mean that you're going to have a year with lots of friendships and with lots of courage. Let's see. Oh, does anybody know what these little ones are? They're kind of hard to see a little bit. Do you know what they are? No? Yeah, they're kind of hard to see in this picture. Do you know what they are?
They're blackbirds and ravens.
They are. These are blackbirds. Specifically, these are red-winged blackbirds. But if you see a blackbird as your first bird, it might mean that you're going to be curious this year and ask lots of good questions. It could also mean that you're going to have a year where you start to see things in a new way. And we have some other birds here that have black wings. We also have ravens here. And if you see a raven first, it might mean that this year you're going to be really good at communicating. Or maybe you see a crow first, and that could mean you're going to have a really creative year and you're going to be really clever. And then this one, I don't know about you, but the place I see birds most often is my very own backyard. I don't have to go far. I don't have to leave the house. I just open my window and look out. And you can do that too. That's a pretty easy thing to do early in the morning on January 1st, isn't it? I have a few more birds that you might see out your window. You might see a seagull. We have a lot of those here. Do you like seagulls? Seagulls might mean that you're going to be really generous this year, that you're going to be really kind. You might see a dove first. And doves might you're gonna have a year of abundance, which means you're gonna have plenty of everything you need. Or you might see a pigeon, and pigeons might mean that you're gonna have a happy year at home. And there are so many more birds you could see. I just picked out a few. And now I have a secret to tell you. Can you hang on to your thought, Lucas? Hold it in your head for just a minute. I love birds, but I don't really know very much about them. Are any of you kind of like that too? Yeah, I love them, but when I see a bird, I might not know if it's a crow or a raven. And if it's a little bird, I usually just call it a finch, whether it is one or not. And that means that if I see my first bird, I'm probably not going to know what it is, but I think that this might work anyway. Do you have a favorite bird? I have a favorite bird. Do any of our grown-ups have favorite birds? Now, you may or may not know what your favorite bird is called, and guess what? That's okay. Maybe if you see your favorite bird first, it means you're going to have a great year full of all your favorite things. And maybe you're going to see a brand new bird that you've never, ever, ever seen before. And so maybe that might mean it's a good chance to learn something new, maybe about your new bird. So I'm going to give you a choice if you don't want to make a New Year's resolution, or you can do this and a New Year's resolution. I want you, if you wish, on the 1st of January to see what your first bird is. And maybe write it down or draw a picture. Or if you are really fast and can get a photo of it, that'd be even better. And then you can learn about your bird this year. And maybe notice if it shows up more than once. The birders that use this tradition, when they see their first bird, they keep looking for it all year long. And they take it as a lucky sign and a good sign. And so I would like to give you that idea as something you can do too. I know some friends had some thoughts they wanted to share before I send you out. What did you want to say, Lucas?
We have a bird feeder.
Oh, you have a bird feeder. That's wonderful. So you have a great chance to see birds whenever you like. And you feed them. That is so kind to the birds. Let's see. What did you want to share?
Well, my man and Papa have a bird feeder.
They do have a bird feeder, too. That's a great place to see birds. What did you want to share?
My mom has a bird feeder and it has a camera.
Oh, it has a camera. That is a fancy bird feeder. But that also means you're going to have a picture of your first bird. And you didn't even have to work hard at it. That's fantastic. And I happen to know your mom knows a lot about birds. So she can probably help tell you what it is. And your grown-ups can help you like that. They can help you figure out what your bird is. Did I get everybody who wanted to share a thought? Okay, you are invited downstairs for some children's activities. We are going to sing our kiddos out, maybe, possibly. Okay, it is time for our offertory. This community and our church and all its many ministries are only made possible by the gifts you give of your time, your talent, and your treasure. For those of you who pledge monthly, we are very grateful. Your support helps us to live our values of love and justice outside of these walls in the wider world. Part of our ministry here at South Valley is a split plate offering. And today, because it is our 5th Sunday, we are sharing our worship offering with our own in-house Good Samaritan Fund. And so this provides financial support to members of our community who might need help with rent or food or gas, and who may be experiencing challenges in their life. So that is how we are splitting it today. If you would join me in reading our offertory words. We are this church. We are its hands, its heart, its voice. Together we share the wealth of this community and sustain it with our gifts. We will now accept the offering. For those at home or for those who just prefer, there is an online giving link in the online order of service, and I will invite the ushers to come forward.
Thank you for that, Lily. It was beautiful. For all we have received and all we have found the courage to give, may we be truly thankful. May these gifts be a blessing to South Valley and our Samaritan Fund. Now I invite you to participate in our ritual of joys and sorrows. Those who are joining us in the virtual community are invited to use the chat box in the Zoom space to share your joys and sorrows. For those gathered here, you are invited to approach the altar and place a stone in the water. Feel free to pause as you select your stone and reflect. Gently place it in the water bowl. You are invited to practice this ritual in silence. So you may enter from this side and return to your seats on that side.
We add 2 final stones, one for those in our virtual community to add your joys and sorrows to those present here, and a final stone for all that is left unsaid but held in kindness. I would invite you into a moment of meditation here. So I would encourage you to put your feet flat on the floor. Have your hands fall softly in any way that feels best to you. And if you feel safe and comfortable doing so, I would invite you to close your eyes and breathe in and breathe out. And find yourself in this moment at the very end of a year that may not have gone the way you wanted it to, or on the contrary, maybe it was your best year ever and it's ending. And as we acknowledge this year that we're leaving behind, we notice that the new one is approaching rather quickly. And it holds so much potential and so much promise, and perhaps a little bit of anxiety because we do not know what will happen. And so we rest here in this space where we are breathing and know that whatever happens, it will be a year. And we will be here at the end, breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe gentle movement back to your fingers and wiggle your toes. And when you are ready, open your eyes. We have a responsive reading this morning. It is found in your hymnals, number 544. It will also be projected as well, if you wish to read the words from our screen up here. The 1st of January is another day dawning, the sun rising as the sun always rises, the earth moving in its rhythms. Without
to name a certain day as the day of the new beginning, separating the old from the new.
So it is. Everything is the same, bound into its history as we ourselves are bound. Yet also
we stand at the threshold, the new year something truly new, still unformed, leaving a stunning power in our hands.
what shall we do with this great gift of time this year?
Let us begin by remembering whatever justice, whatever peace and wholeness might bloom in our world this year.
We are the hearts and minds, the hands and feet, the embodiment of all the best visions of our people.
The new year can be new ground for the seeds of our dreams.
Let us take the step forward together onto new ground.
Planting our dreams well, faithfully, and in joy.
The first thing I'd like to do is point out this little black box here. This is called our confidence monitor. It will be used for a variety of things this year, but it's so that we at the podium, looking this way, don't have to turn around and to make sure we are on the right page, so to speak. So that has been a great addition. And I also want to thank John Allen for saying yes to SVUU, coming back to sing for us and lead us. And to Lily Kirkpatrick, who also said yes to SVUU, to play the piano so beautifully for us today. So we're sending you a Christmas card. You know those cards you receive from dear old friends and family that detail the past year's events in words and pictures. We're doing the same for you, to remind you of the hard work, selflessness, and camaraderie you've achieved this year through volunteerism. So congratulate yourself, pat your friends on the back, sit back, and accept the thanks from a grateful congregation. We can't do it without you. Well, I guess we've got a few more pictures to go through. In this fallow time of winter, this time of rest and early darkness, be kind to yourself. Unhurry. Allow yourself to slip into a richer, slower frame of mind. Read some good books. Take a nap. Play board games and put puzzles together. Take advantage of this quieter time. We know we need and deserve it. The winter solstice was barely a week ago, meaning that the days are lengthening, albeit imperceptibly. But this is a powerful time. Our landscapes can look bleak and maybe messy if you've left the dry heads of flowers for the birds. It can be harsh and seem to have little life. But take a closer look. It's not dormant. There is a spark of life. Insects thrive in the leaf litter on warm days, providing nourishment for the winter birds. Fertilized queen bees are buried in the soil, making new bees. Bulbs are rich and awaiting that first warmth of sun and drop of water to begin their journey toward the sun. Bears have cubs while hibernating. Nature is busy these dark days. Seems like nature's taking this time to prepare for the busyness that is to come. Nature has work to do, and so do we. But you probably knew that was coming. The fifth candle of the menorah is significant for overcoming darkness by searching for wisdom. The terms perseverance, strength to overcome challenges, self-reflection, and spiritual growth are associated with the fifth candle. While nature may not be self-reflective, being in nature can help us with our own renewal. Maybe your first bird is the woodpecker, for perseverance, or a seagull to remind yourself to be generous. Perhaps the fifth candle can also burn for us UUs. Last week, the quiet morning I prepared with soft light, and candles, and a cup of coffee, which is my early morning retreat, was eventually shattered with that top-of-the-hour news report. Shaken, I realized that the vow of political withdrawal I've needed and taken now needs balance, which means I need to take action. I recently took a class to help myself clarify what I'll have to let go of or can't do, such as negotiate peace in the Middle East, because I can't see how I could make a difference there, and what I can go all in on, like supporting refugees in our community. I'm coming to grips with the daunting idea that I am the hope I've been waiting for. We've been talking about our own heroes for months. We know the memes, they all point to ourselves. Even Reverend Laura mentioned it last week in her sermon. So savor this quiet time, soak in the nurturing warmth of your homes, but make your action plan for spring as avidly as you're dreaming of your summer vacation. Carefully follow what our state legislature is doing in the new term. Maybe you've got a loved one with special needs, trans needs, medical needs, or care and service needs. Those state funds could dry up. Maybe it's essential for you to ensure the proper medical care for the women in your lives and all our lives. It may no longer be available or in a timely manner. That could be devastating. Some of you will want to throw down for our environment and thank you. Air quality, preserving Great Salt Lake. City planning, how many high-end, high-rise buildings and their accompanying traffic can we accommodate? Call your legislator a lot. Get involved with like-minded groups to call attention to your cause. Be a provider to those who need protection, like the Second and Second Coalition. Get involved with local political parties to prepare for our future elections. They are coming faster than next Christmas. I'll caution us all to not wait. Make a commitment now to your children, a promise to yourself, and assure that our hubris will not devastate the earth. Take a lesson from nature. Now is the time to plan action. Nature doesn't have a choice. It just does it. We still have a choice, which can make it challenging, but nonetheless necessary. I'll leave you with this reading from Chelan Harkin. It's when the earth shakes and foundations crumble that our light is called to rise up. It's when everything falls away and shakes us to the core and awakens all our hidden ghosts that we dig deeper to find once inaccessible strength. It's in times when division is fierce that we must reach for each other and hold each other much, much tighter. Do not fall away now. This is the time to rise. Your light is being summoned. Your integrity is being tested that it may stand more tall. When everything collapses, we must find within us that which is indomitable. Rise and find the strength in your heart. Rise and find the strength in each other. Burn through your devastation. Make it your fuel. Bring forth your light. Now is not the time to be afraid of the dark. Please stand if you're willing and able for our closing song, Auld Lang Syne. The words will be on the screen, and hopefully you know the tune. If you are comfortable, link arms as we sing these words to each other. And when we finish, we'll remain standing to extinguish the chalice.
All the acquaintance leave
we're going to extinguish our chalice. The words are on the screen. We extinguish
the chalice,
but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. We hold each other in our hearts until we meet again.
With these words, this is a season to linger, gather, slow down, and give yourself a moment. Take a sentimental journey and find contentment, and maybe be a little selfish with it, because you deserve it. Our fallow time will soon give way to action. And may it be so.